Hi, and welcome to the Market Alert for Thursday, the 14th of August 2025. So US stocks extended on gains amid rate cut hopes. So that one's back on the table. As we've seen over the last few days, money markets are fully pricing in a September Fed rate cut. And stocks and bonds bid as markets fully price 25% basis cut. So it's 25% at the moment. 25 basis points. For a cut in September. It could go to 50, who knows, but 25 seems to make a lot more sense. Economic news for today, what have we got? GDP from the UK, prelim GDP as well, that's at 7 a.m. and over to the US then for core PPI month-on-month unemployment claims, and President Trump is going to speak at 6 p.m. The UK will be an interesting one. See if this helps Rachel and accounts or not, but we're not looking at any major figures here. But they certainly need some good news. Not that it makes any difference to the FT100 that traded within 3 points yesterday of a new all-time high. So let's have a look at these markets from yesterday. They continue to make gains, and let's kick off with the Dow. So in the Dow, we see another up day, market breaking out of this sideways move. Got this sort of triangle shape there. The market's broken out of it. The all-time high is now in the gun sight at 45,135. No surprise there. It'll go through this. It won't be a problem. And then, of course, tomorrow we've got allegedly got the meeting between Trump, Zelensky and Putin. The interesting one there, that's for sure. And see what turns up with it. And as a result of it, so yesterday the Dow continuing to move up. You've got the cash market opening, and then off we go. The insanity continues despite all economic failings around the world and struggles, but it doesn't matter because the algos have got control, and it's just a matter of pricing it all in, programming it in, and then letting the markets get on and do it. So, like I say, the Dow heading to 45,135. And in the German DAX, it's stuck in a bit of a sideways range at the moment. It is 6 weeks holds, but once it breaks, it'll head back up to the all-time high of 24,644 when it plays catch-up like it seems to do. And in the 30-minute chart there, you can see that we were down to begin with. We found support at the DP, and then prices moved higher. And then they've been stuck in a bit of a sideways range there. Below the DP at the moment, so a bit of weakness around there this morning for the DAX, but I did see that in one of the headlines, Zelensky's dropping in on London en route to meet Trump. So that might bring a bit of support to the market. Who knows these days? It can be anything. Used to be financial, but now it's geopolitical and all sorts of other events that can actually spike the market. So the DAX looking a bit weakish overnight there at the moment. And in the S&P, guess what? We've got another all-time high made yesterday overnight, a bit weaker there. It looks like we're going to get a bit of a pullback today in prices by the looks of things. But yesterday the market moving higher, pulling back, and then back up before the close, and overnight just about staying above the DP. But like I say, it just seems to be a bit of weakness around. In the FT100, as I mentioned earlier, that we were 3 points off the all-time high. And I noticed that we've already got some weakness here too. So maybe there's some sort of marking down of prices. We've got a gap there as well for the FT100. It's already at yesterday's low. So looks like today, ahead of this meeting of the Three Musketeers, we're going to see a bit of a pullback. Meanwhile, in the US dollar, this is sideways to lower there as well. And it will certainly be interesting to see what happens after the meeting tomorrow with the US dollar. But I suspect it will be after the market closes, so that there's no abreaction, and they've got all weekend to digest what the outcome could be. In the metals, silver moving up nicely yesterday, back above the 38.50, which is what I said that we needed to get back to yesterday and above. And you can see it allowed to move up yesterday, but in the afternoon, and the LBMA fix, obviously we always get that spike to the downside, and then trying to move up there as well at the moment. So it's got the high of yesterday to take out there. Gold, on the other hand, is stuck in a bit of a quagmire. It's trading sideways, not making any great moves there at the moment. Despite yesterday evening moving up, it was soon moved back down during the Asian session. So let's have a look at the gold-silver ratio. So in the gold-silver ratio, you can see this has moved down quite nicely there and holding its own. Needs to obviously take out the low to the left, get down towards the 86 level there. Right, let's have a quick look at yesterday's trades in the German DAX. And a bit of volatility in the pre-market, futures moving down, which you can see there, then buying back in and then trying to bring the market back. We then kicked off with the market moving higher above the 200 MA, above the DP and the close, and the averages all in alignment. This helped the market. Prices then trading through the previous day high before some profit taking came into the market. And then once the buying came back into hold prices at the 50 EMA, we then see them turn around and trade sideways before the new buying comes in. So we see the shakeout here to retest the low to the left, and then the market starts to move up and continues up through the high and up to the R1 before they're then forced down back to the high, which now turns into support from Tuesday there. And then we get into another trading range waiting for the Dow to kick off, and then the Dow opens and the DAX manages to move up with it, albeit a temporary move there. We then get another potential buy signal. This is filled, but unfortunately it makes no progress as we then get a sell. So the long is stopped out and the short is then moved to the downside there, back to the high and then through the high as more news comes out about this meeting during the latter part of the German DAX trading session there. So overnight, as we've just seen, the market putting in a bit of weakness there below the DP. It's looking quite weakish at the moment for the DAX, and probably see the low of yesterday coming under fire at some point during today's trading session. Okay, that's it for this one. Let's see what happens in the markets today, and as ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.